Hello, friends. Welcome back to 30 Minutes Book Summaries. I need to warn you before we start. This book is banned in multiple countries: Iran, Turkey, several prison systems across America, where ironically, it's also one of the most requested books. Why is it banned? Because what's inside it makes powerful people uncomfortable. This isn't a book about being a better person. It isn't about kindness or gratitude or morning routines. This is a book about how power actually works in the real world. How it's gained, how it's kept, and how it's taken away, often from people who never saw it coming. The book is The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, and here's what makes it genuinely dangerous. Every single law in this book is already being used on you. By your colleagues, your competitors, politicians, companies, people you trust. The question isn't whether you want to play this game. The question is whether you want to understand the rules or keep losing without knowing why. Let's get into it. And I'll tell you right now, Law 1 alone is going to make you rethink every time you've ever tried to impress someone above you. Law 1. Never outshine the master. Here's a mistake that has ended careers, and Greene says people make it every single day. You're in a meeting, you've done your homework, you have the best idea in the room, and your boss is there. So you shine. You demonstrate just how capable you are. You make sure everyone knows it, and something quietly shifts in the room. Greene tells the story of a king's minister who threw the most lavish party the kingdom had ever seen, spending the entire royal treasury to impress his king. The king had him imprisoned for life, because the minister made the king feel small by comparison. When you make someone above you feel inferior, they don't admire you, they fear you, and then they eliminate you. The law is simple but counterintuitive. Make those above you feel consistently superior. Let them have the ideas, let them take the credit, let them shine, and use that goodwill to quietly build your own position. This isn't weakness, it's intelligence. But what about the people beside you, the ones you call friends? Law 2 is going to make you deeply uncomfortable. Law 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Greene opens this law with a warning most people dismiss until it's too late. Your friends, he says, are your greatest vulnerability. Not because they're bad people, but because friendship creates blind spots. You stop watching, you stop questioning, and when they betray you, and often they will, you never saw it coming because you weren't looking. But here's the counterintuitive part. Your enemies are often more useful than your friends. Your enemies are predictable. You're watching them. You know their motivations. And if you bring a former enemy to your side, they'll work twice as hard to prove their loyalty, because they have more to prove. Greene cites countless historical examples of kings who were betrayed by their most trusted allies, while the advisors they'd once considered enemies became their most reliable partners. Trust carefully, watch everyone, and never confuse warmth with loyalty. Now, both of these laws assume people don't know what you're planning. Law 3 makes sure they never do. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. Here's something the smartest people in any room understand. Never let anyone know your real move until it's already been made. Give them a story that sounds plausible, but isn't the real one. By the time they figure out what you are actually doing, it's too late for them to stop it. And here's the relatable example he gives. Think about the toppers in your school or college. You know the ones. They walk into the exam hall saying, "I didn't even study. I barely looked at the notes." While the average student thinks, if even they didn't study, why should I? Meanwhile, that topper studied harder than anyone. They never revealed their intentions, and that misdirection gave them an edge. Your goals are yours. Your plans are yours. Share them with no one until execution. You've hidden your plans. Now Law 4 tells you to do something even harder. Hide your intelligence. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. The most powerful people in any room are rarely the loudest. Greene says when you talk too much, you give away too much. Your weaknesses, your insecurities, your real position. But when you say less, people lean in. They fill the silence with their own interpretations, usually ones that make you seem more mysterious, more thoughtful, more significant than you might actually be. And here's the practical advantage. The person talking less is learning more, because the person talking more is giving everything away. Every time someone overshares in a negotiation, they've handed you the upper hand. Every time a leader speaks without thinking, They've handed their opponents ammunition. Less is not weakness. Less is strategy. You're saying less. But what people say about you when you're not in the room? That's Law 5. Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Your reputation arrives before you do. It sits in every room before you walk in. It shapes how people treat you before you open your mouth. It determines whether your words are taken seriously or brushed aside. Greene says, reputation is the foundation of all power. Think about Elon Musk. He posts 2 emojis. Bitcoin crashes overnight. Not because of what he said, because of who he is. His reputation carries weight that words alone never could. You don't need to be a billionaire for this to apply to you. In your office, become the person who delivers. Every time, without fail. That reputation compounds. People start trusting your judgment before you've even made it. In your school, become the expert in one subject. Students will come to you. Teachers will notice you. Your reputation precedes every interaction. Build it deliberately. Protect it obsessively. Attack anyone who tries to undermine it, immediately and decisively. Your reputation is established, but people need to be drawn to you first. Law 6 tells you exactly how. Law 6, court attention at all cost. Everything sells on appearance. Greene says in a world full of noise, invisibility is a death sentence. You must be seen. You must create a presence that pulls people toward you before you've said a word. Think about it this way. Walk into a store and you see 10 Android phones lined up on one side. On the other side, one iPhone. Where does everyone look? Not because the iPhone is necessarily better, but because Apple has spent decades making itself impossible to ignore. You need to do the same. It doesn't mean being loud or attention-seeking. It means being distinctive, having a presence, a way of speaking, a style, an energy that separates you from the background noise. If people don't notice you, they can't be influenced by you. But getting attention is just the beginning. Law 7 shows you how to convert that attention into leverage. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. This one is uncomfortable, but Greene says it's simply how power operates at every level. The people running large companies aren't doing most of the work. The people doing the work aren't getting most of the credit. The credit flows to the top. Greene isn't saying exploit people cruelly. He's saying understand how results are attributed and position yourself accordingly. Find people whose skills complement yours. Delegate what you don't do well. Coordinate. Direct. Take responsibility for outcomes. And make sure the victories are associated with your name. Law 8. Make other people come to you, use bait if necessary. You should never be the one chasing. Greene says the person who makes others come to them controls the frame of every interaction. They set the terms. They hold the power. How do you make people come to you? Bait. Offer something they want, something they need. Position yourself as the source of what they desire, and they'll move toward you without being pushed. This applies in business, in negotiations, even in personal relationships. The moment you start chasing, you've handed your power to someone else. Law 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. Here's something most people learn too late. You cannot argue someone into genuinely believing you're capable. You have to show them. Every argument you win leaves the other person feeling defeated and resentful. They haven't changed their mind, they've just stopped talking. But every result you deliver, every problem you solve, every promise you keep, every challenge you overcome, that builds something no argument ever could. Demonstrated competence is permanent. Verbal victories are temporary. Law 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. Greene makes a point here that sounds harsh, but is grounded in real psychology. Misery is contagious. The people around you shape your thinking, your habits, your expectations. Spend enough time around people who expect failure, and you'll start expecting it too. This isn't about being callous. It's about being intentional. Protect your energy. Protect your mindset. Be selective about who gets extended access to your time and your mental space. The first 10 laws are about establishing your position, but the next set reveals the psychological moves that keep you there. Law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. Here's a truth Greene states plainly. People only value what they need. If you're dispensable, you're replaceable. If you're essential, you're protected. Make yourself the person who knows things no one else knows, who can do things no one else can, who connects dots others can't see. When people need you, they don't betray you. They can't afford to. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. One act of genuine honesty can buy you enormous trust. Greene says, use this deliberately. A single transparent moment, when people least expect it, creates a powerful impression of trustworthiness that you can leverage for a long time. This isn't about being dishonest. It's about understanding that trust is currency, and like all currency, it should be spent strategically. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to self-interest, never to mercy. This is one of the most practically useful laws in the entire book. When you need something from someone, don't appeal to their kindness. Appeal to their benefit. People help when helping serves them, not primarily out of generosity. Figure out what the other person gains from helping you. Lead with that. Frame your request around their advantage. And the answer becomes much easier to get, even from someone who isn't your ally. Law 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Information is power. Greene says the most valuable intelligence comes from casual conversations, not formal interrogations. When people are comfortable, they reveal everything. Be genuinely curious, ask questions, listen actively, observe patterns, and file away everything. Know your ally's strengths and your opponent's weaknesses. And know them before you need them. Law 15. Crush your enemy totally. This one is uncomfortable. But Greene makes the historical case repeatedly. The enemy you spare today will come back tomorrow. Countless rulers in history showed mercy to a defeated opponent, and were later destroyed by that same opponent. Greene isn't talking about physical harm. He's talking about competition, business, and political adversaries. When someone has actively worked against you and you've won, don't leave them a platform to rebuild. Close the door completely. Because if you don't, they will. You've handled your enemies. But Law 16 shows you that sometimes the most powerful move is simply to disappear. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Here's something most people do completely wrong. They make themselves too available. When you're everywhere, you become background. People stop noticing you because you're always there. Greene says strategic withdrawal creates demand. Disappear occasionally. Remove yourself from the group. Create scarcity around your presence. When you return, people are genuinely relieved and excited to see you. Your re-entry feels like an event. Absence, when timed correctly, makes you more powerful than constant presence ever could. Law 17. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Predictability is a weakness. When people can anticipate your next move, they can prepare for it, counter it, control you. But when your behavior is unpredictable, when people genuinely cannot read you, they stay slightly off balance, slightly uncertain. And uncertainty gives you control. Vary your patterns. Keep people guessing, not recklessly, but deliberately. Law 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. Here's a trap many powerful people fall into. They become so guarded, so isolated, that they lose touch with what's actually happening around them. Greene says, isolation makes you a target, not a fortress. Surround yourself with people. Stay connected. Information flows through relationships, and if you've cut yourself off from relationships, you've cut yourself off from intelligence. The person in the middle of the network is safer than the person standing alone at the edge. Law 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. Not all opponents are created equal. Some people, when defeated, accept it and move on. Others make it their life's mission to destroy you. Greene says, before you engage anyone in conflict, understand what kind of person they are. The wrong opponent isn't the strongest one. It's the one who, once provoked, will dedicate everything to your destruction. Choose your battles by understanding your opponents first. Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. Freedom is power. The moment you commit fully to one side, one person, one faction, one position, you've handed that side leverage over you. Greene says, stay independent. Be the person everyone wants, but no one owns. When you belong to no one completely, Everyone values your allegiance more. You've mastered your independence, but the next set of laws reveals the most sophisticated tool of all, understanding and manipulating human desire. Law 21, play a sucker to catch a sucker, seem dumber than your mark. This is one of Greene's most elegant laws. If you appear smarter than your opponent, they guard themselves. They hide their moves. But if you appear slightly less intelligent than you are, they relax. They get comfortable. They show you everything. Underestimation is one of the most powerful advantages you can engineer. Let your opponent feel superior. Watch what they reveal. Then move. Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. When you're outmatched, don't fight. Surrender strategically. Buy yourself time. Let the opponent believe they've won. Then rebuild quietly, and strike when the moment is right. Greene gives historical example after example of leaders who surrendered only to return stronger. The ones who fought to the last when they had no chance simply lost. Tactical retreat is not defeat. It's patience with a plan. Law 23. Concentrate your forces. Bruce Lee said it perfectly. I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once. I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. Greene agrees completely. Don't spread yourself across 10 different strengths. Master one. Go deeper than anyone else. Become the undisputed expert in a single area. And you'll be more powerful than someone with 10 mediocre skills. Depth beats breadth, always. Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. The courtier, the trusted advisor close to power, gains influence not through confrontation, but through charm, intelligence, and strategic flattery. They make themselves indispensable to those above them. They collect information. They understand the politics of every room they enter. They advance not by demanding, but by making those in power feel supported. Law 25. Recreate yourself. You are not fixed. The identity you have right now, the persona people know you by, was built by circumstances, by fear, by other people's expectations. Greene says, consciously choose who you want to be. Then, build that person deliberately. Don't let society assign you a role. Write your own script. Reinvent yourself as many times as necessary. The most powerful people in history weren't born powerful. They decided what they would become and built it intentionally. The laws so far have been about building your power, but the next set is about protecting it from the forces that will inevitably try to take it. Law 26. Keep your hands clean. Whatever you're doing behind the scenes, your public image must remain spotless. Greene says, find others to be the instrument of unpleasant actions. Keep yourself visibly above the mess. Because in the court of public opinion, appearance is reality. Law 28. Enter action with boldness. Hesitation is more dangerous than error. A bold wrong move can be corrected. Timid right moves create doubt, in others and in yourself. Greene says when you decide to act, commit completely. Half measures signal uncertainty and invite challenge. Boldness creates its own momentum. Law 29. Plan all the way to the end. Most people plan the beginning. Few plan the end. Greene says before you start any move, trace every consequence forward as far as you can. Anticipate the obstacles. Prepare for the complications. And always, always, have a contingency. The person without one always does. Law 30. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. Never let people see the sweat. Greene says, people are far more impressed by natural genius than by hard work. When you show your struggle, you invite sympathy at best and doubt at worst. Show only the result. Make it look inevitable. Make it look easy. Effort revealed diminishes the achievement. Concealed, it becomes mystique. Law 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Everyone has a weakness, a button, a need so deep they'll do almost anything in response to it. Some people desperately need validation. Some need to feel superior. Some need to feel needed. Some need to be seen as generous. Find it and use it. Not necessarily cruelly, but deliberately. When you understand what drives someone, you understand how to move them. Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. How you present yourself determines how you're treated. Greene says if you carry yourself with quiet confidence and dignity, people will respond to you accordingly. They'll treat you as significant because you signal that you are. You don't need a title. You don't need formal authority. You need to behave like someone worth listening to, and people will listen. Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. What you can't have, ignore. Obsessing over what's out of reach gives it power over you. It shows others your weakness and your desire. And with enemies, giving them attention feeds them. Ignore them completely, and you deprive them of the oxygen they need. Law 37. Create compelling spectacles. People are drawn to drama, to beauty, to the extraordinary. Think about Apple product launches. They don't just release phones, they create events, theater, anticipation, awe. If you want people to follow you, give them something worth watching. Make your presence an event. Make your work an experience. Ordinary inspires nothing. Extraordinary inspires everything. Law 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. Your most unconventional thinking should stay private until the moment is right. Greene says, blend in with the mainstream while you build. Don't antagonize people with ideas they're not ready to hear. Wait until your position is secure. Then introduce your vision, gradually, strategically, at a moment when it will land. Law 40. Despise the free lunch. Nothing is free. When someone gives you something for nothing, look harder. There's always a cost, a dependency being created, an obligation being established, a manipulation being set in motion. Pay your own way. Keep your own counsel. Never owe anyone something you didn't choose to owe. Law 42. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. Most problems have a single source. One person causing conflict. One competitor driving opposition. One idea undermining your position. Don't exhaust yourself fighting the symptoms. Identify the source, remove it, and watch the rest collapse on its own. Law 43. Work on the hearts and minds of others. Force creates resistance, but desire, genuine desire, creates compliance that feels like choice. Greene says, don't coerce people into loyalty. Make them want to be loyal. Give them something to gain. Make them feel they're choosing you freely, and that choice will be far more durable than anything you could have forced. Law 46. Never appear too perfect. Perfection intimidates and it isolates. When people think you have no flaws, they can't connect with you. Worse, they start resenting you. Greene says, show controlled vulnerability, share a carefully chosen weakness. It makes you approachable. And paradoxically, it makes people trust your strengths more, because they believe you're being honest. Law 47. Do not go past the target. Stop before you've won. This law is where most powerful people eventually fail. They win, and then they keep going. They push further. They demand more. They overstay their advantage. And they turn victory into resentment, then into defeat. Know when you've won. Stop there. Consolidate what you have, and let the moment land. Law 48. Assume formlessness. This is the final law, and in many ways, the most important. Water has no fixed shape. It takes the shape of whatever contains it. It flows around obstacles instead of crashing into them. Greene says, become like water. Don't be rigid in your strategies. Don't be committed to a form that no longer serves you. Adapt to every environment. Evolve with every situation. The person who can be one thing today and something completely different tomorrow, without losing their core, is the most dangerous opponent and the most resilient leader. The world changes. The game changes. The players change. The only way to stay powerful through all of it is to stay formless. So friends, that was our summary of the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Now here's what I want you to take away from this. It tells you to be conscious. Most of these laws are being applied to you right now by your employers, your competitors, the platforms you use, the politicians you watch. The question was never whether this game is being played. The question is whether you are aware enough to play it deliberately, or whether you'll keep losing it unconsciously. The 5 most important laws to start with today. 1. Never outshine the master. Make those above you feel secure and build quietly. 2. Guard your reputation like your life depends on it, because your power does. 3. Say less than necessary. Silence is information. Use it. 4. Make yourself essential. Dependence is protection. 5. Assume formlessness. Adapt. Evolve. Never become predictable. Which law surprised you the most? Tell me in the comments right now. I genuinely want to know which one hit differently. And if you know someone who keeps getting passed over, overlooked, or outmaneuvered, send them this video. It might be the most useful thing they watch this year. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a summary on 30 Minutes Book Summaries. See you in the next one.